All right, guys. Thank you guys for liking, subscribing, and also, following up on these videos and also checking them out all the time. So today, we're gonna be talking about an interesting topic. I got a question from one of our members and followers who asked me, how should they be thinking about the risk that comes with property investing? I think it was coming from a question, that was not the phrase, but the phrase was more of, can one lose money when you're investing in property? And I think it all boils down to risk and also boils down to some fundamentals, which I think that, successful people and investors as well have a different mindset about risk from unsuccessful investors. And I'm going to just break it down for you guys and we're going to go into the depth of it. So I want you to watch this video until the end. Let me know what you guys think about it. And then, comment and let me know what is your thoughts about how people who are successful are dealing about risk based on personal experiences or based on what you know as well. All right, so first of all, let's start by saying that there's a different view from somebody who's successful in whatever they are doing, and then also somebody who's unsuccessful in what they are trying to do when it comes to real estate investing or when it comes to life as well. And in short, I want to start this video by quoting two quotations from one from Warren Buffett, the other one's from Bill Gates, and they're going to tell us a little bit about how they look at risk. And I think that will give us a perspective and a way to work around something. So the first quote is from Warren Buffett. It says, "Risk comes from not knowing what you are doing." So that already says a lot because he simplified it to a level where everybody can understand. Risk just involves a situation that's going to expose you to danger. So if you walk at night and if you're staying in Johannesburg, you walk in the CBD at night, then you're looking for trouble, because you don't know what you're doing. But if you walk in some specific areas with some people and you do your homework and you're working in CBD at night, then at least you are minimizing your risk, And then one of other things you can choose to do is not walk at CBD at night at all. So you can just avoid the risk. So however, people who avoid risk, there's a correlation between risk avoidance and inaction, because there's nothing in life you're going to do without exposing yourself to a minimum amount of risk. And I think that's a mindset you want to have as an investor and as somebody else who's investing in real estate or just an entrepreneur as well. So this quote by Warren Buffett, I think it just explains it. If you don't know what you're doing, you're risking, because you're going to expose yourself to some dangerous situation or a situation that can expose you to some danger, and you would not know what to do in that way. So I think that's a better definition of what risk is. If you were thinking it's going to be a very technical meaning, I think Warren Buffett made it very simple. And then there's another one by Bill Gates says, "Business is a money game with a few rules and a lot of risk." So I like this quote as well because now we're talking about real estate and investing. What is it all about? It's all about money, right? Because you're investing your money or other people's money, and it's a game because there's too many players in the game, and then it has a few rules that are supposed to be played. There are a few rules, fundamentals that you have to know when you're playing every game, chess, baseball, soccer, etc. There's a amount of people who can be in there, penalties, all of that stuff, etc. Red cards, substitutes, all of those things. Every game has rules. Even business has its own rules. And it says it has a few rules and a lot of risk. And a lot of risk, the risk comes from not knowing exactly what you are doing or having the minimum amount of information about what you are doing. So we're going to talk about how successful people look at risk in comparison to unsuccessful people. So one thing I've learned from my experience in investing in real estate, by some mistakes I did myself, I want to promise you that I did so many mistakes, even when I started with my first business. That's why it failed. My second business, which was in real estate, in the beginning it went well because I had a mentor, and the mentor did not eliminate the risk. He helped me minimize the risk. I want you to underline that. He helped me minimize the risk, because if I did some things I did not know what I was doing and I can speak to him, he gave me some techniques and ways that I can overcome some of the obstacles I was facing. So that's minimizing my risk, is not eliminating the risk. And that's exactly what I want you guys to understand, what a mentor does for you, or somebody who's already been in the game for quite some time. And then that's the first part. So I still made a lot of mistakes because I did some things that I did not know what I was doing, and I had somebody I can go and ask. I did this thing, what do you think? Or I'm doing this thing, what do you think about it? And there's a little bit of risk exposed in that as well. And without risk, you must understand there is no growth. And that's why there's a big saying or a cliche we can say that says, take calculated risk. It's not talking about you not taking risk at all. The calculated risk is just saying you have enough information, you have enough people around you, you have the right team with you to help you analyze and assess the risk you're taking. So now let's talk about how successful investors and average investors think about risk. So average investors look highly on performance. If they want to invest in something, they're going to say, Bitcoin is going up, it's now $17,000, and then it went from $5,000 to $5. They're not looking at the risk first. They're looking at the return first. And then now they're going to take their money and say, I'm going to put money in Bitcoin. Everybody's putting money in Bitcoin. All my friends are putting money in Bitcoin. Right now is the thing. Boom. The same thing in real estate as well. Student accommodation is the biggest thing right now that's making money. Okay. Take the money, put it in student accommodation, and then boom, you have problems. You don't have tenants, you don't have this, you don't know how to run it, you're having troubles, you're having all of that lot of stuff that's happening thereafter. And that's a big problem with a lot of investors who are average investors. You don't do your homework. And then a successful investor, it's the other way around. It's just simple. That's the difference. They look at the risk first. Hey, Bitcoin is a great thing, is hyped up right now. The price has been increasing. All right, so what influences the price increase in Bitcoin? Is it the usage? Is it what? And then which things are stable in Bitcoin? What are the variables that we can control? Variables that we can't control? What are the variables that are affecting the growth of it? And then what are the variables that are affecting the losses of it as well? And then also look at what can you manage to control? How much amount of risk are you willing to expose yourself to? How can you handle it emotionally if it goes tough? Are you in a state where you can take that risk in your life at the moment? Does your capital allow you to do that? Does your finances allow you to do that as well? Does your living situation, either you're married or not, you have kids, you have work, can you take all your money and put it in that, or do you have to, gradually get into it? So all those things are the risk question you need to ask yourself as an investor who is successful. And then now consider, okay, the performance, because most average investors think that the performance actually justifies the risk of an asset. And it's not always like that, because performance or superior performance in returns and how everything works, it doesn't mean in the long term it's going to be like that. It can be hot now, it can be hot for a moment, but in the long term, it might be a whole total different game. And that's what I wanted to share with you guys, to say risk is viewed differently from average investors and from people who are successful investors as well. And I'm also somebody who's learning all these things. I have to know what to look out for. I have to know how the smart money moves so you can be able to navigate. And this is why you're watching this video, so you can exactly know what to do as an investor who's upcoming, who's already existing, and who's already expanding their portfolio, to say, hey, how do I look at risk as an investor who is successful, or how do successful investors look at risk? Otherwise, guys, enjoy this video. Make sure you like, you subscribe, and we'll chat to you guys soon. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.